Hello, my name is Christine and I run a vintage shop called Prima Treasures on Etsy. Today I wanted to talk about Culver. They're a pretty well-known mid-century glassware brand and they were even featured on Mad Men. They were founded in 1939, but they didn't actually get popular until about the 1950s. What they're most known for is that a lot of their designs are decorated with 22 karat gold, actual gold. And I've got a sample of them here to show you. You can see that every one of these has pretty heavy prominence of gold in the design. So the most popular design that they have is this one right here. It's got gold with little openings and there's little green diamond in it. This pattern is called Valencia, and that's actually the one that they used on Mad Men. That's what most people, if they're looking for Culver, this is one of the patterns they're going to be interested in collecting. But I've got a few other patterns here that I think are pretty interesting too. This one has kind of a medallion design. This one over here on the end it's called Scroll. It comes in different colors, so you can get this particular color is called Cranberry, but you can get it in a blue scroll, and I think there's several other colors. This company made glassware that would be considered, pretty iconic to this period. So if you're looking for something that arguably screams mid-century to add to your barware collection, Culver would be a great place to start. They have a wide variety of patterns. I've only shown a few here, but they've got dozens. They're not always marked, which is kind of a problem if you're a collector. If you just like how something looks, then that's not a big deal. But if you're trying to make sure you've got Culver, then obviously you want something that you know is Culver. So a lot of the designs will come with markings on it, and I'm going to try to show you on this one right here if I can. And the mark is right there. It's a script font, and it just says Culver on the side. This glass has the same mark. They also have a mark that's kind of a block, all caps block font that is a later mark they used. They kind of went out of business or fell from prominence around the 1980s. So most of the patterns that you would see, that's about the latest that you would potentially find something, and that block font was used later on. But some of them, like this Valencia, have no mark at all. And you would only have to know that that's a Culver pattern to identify it. So there's a website called Replacements where you can look and see what Culver patterns are. So if you wanted to look something up, you could go to their site and look for a match of whatever glassware you happen to find in a thrift store or estate sale. And they don't have all of the patterns covered, but they have a lot of the more popular patterns listed there. So that would be another way that you could identify something that doesn't have the mark on it. But a good bit of Culver does, so it's not super difficult to track them down, especially if you get to a point where you kind of know what some of the patterns are, some of the characteristics of it. One of the things that I notice is that this sort of textured feature of this design, it's not unusual for other Culver patterns to use that same sort of texturing. So whenever I see something that looks like this on gold glass, I immediately think, okay, this is a potential Culver candidate. So I hope I've given you enough information to make some decisions about something you might want to own and potentially identify Culver when you get out there looking for mid-century glass. But this is a really cool company, and I definitely think it deserves a place in anybody's mid-century bar.